See this episode's show notes for our unique promo code to get up to 2 months of free podcasting service with Libsyn when you sign up for a new account. Get your show on Apple and Spotify, get helpful stats, and all the support you need to sound your very best.
This is Noel Tate from the band Deleter, and you're listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
Welcome back, Looney listeners. You are listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. This is episode 302, and you are with your high priests, Rebecca and Ray. Rebecca, welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome to you. Welcome to you. Thank you for having me again.
I'm welcome back as well. We're both back.
One day I'll do that very smoothly, but I'm still always amazed I'm on a podcast.
Oh, but yes, we are both back, Rebecca and I. And we're looking at another Moonshine, Looney listeners, for this live stream, which is currently happening as well. And we'll be looking at, I really couldn't say it any other way, it's Moony's recent appearances. So what Rebecca and I will be looking at for this episode are just the, you could say, incidental or supporting roles of Moon Knight in some other comics other than his own that have come out during the purple patch that has been, Moon Knight and the TV show and the new series and the anthology. So he popped up in many issues. Rebecca
hopefully
and I
got them all. So.
yeah, that too as well. So we're just hoping to capture them all just in one big hit and just kind of talk about them. Like some of them are as measly as, Rebecca, what
background one panel joke.
Exactly. Yeah.
And sometimes they're multiple panels, doesn't get to speak, to full on guest star appearance.
And I think we haven't discussed this, Rebecca, but maybe we kind of leave that one till last, and we'll go through like the easy ones.
Let's go through the fast ones first.
True. As mentioned as well, we are live streaming, so thank you for those that are joining us. You can catch us on all the social media platforms, and we will be we'll be sharing up on screen.
We never want to throw up on screen.
We don't want to throw up on screen. It's a bad look for everyone involved. But we will be sharing on screen some visuals of the comics we'll talk about. So any references to visuals, please bear that in mind. Rebecca, we got someone already.
It's Russell.
Russell. How are you going, Russell? Thank you for joining us this early morn for you. So hopefully, and oh gosh, pea soup, yeah. I mean, that would look tragic, wouldn't it?
That'd be full on Exorcist, yeah.
But yeah, so we've got that on offer, and for listeners who may tune in more than once, they'd know that Rebecca and I, we do look at all the latest and greatest. So we've just previously done, we wrapped up the Black, White and Blood miniseries, the anthology, and chugging along with Jed MacKay's series, Rebecca, which seems to be,
we've just had the solicit for issue 18, so that's for December.
That's right, as well.
So that's right. I think that's when he stuck a calendar pin in Let's Talk Again after 18. So
yeah, I'm excited.
The interesting things is I forgot about, it's very easy to forget about the whole solicit process, and that it does mean that in a month's time we'll know if it's continuing.
Yes. So. Yeah, that's what I've got my eyes on, the prize there, because I'm hoping it seems to be doing. I mean, it's hard to tell because we're in a little bit of a moon bubble. It's hard to tell, but fingers crossed, and that's kind of one of the bits of white noise, I guess, at the moment. So
white noise,
bit of white noise, a bit of news, as Rebecca said. We do have the December solicits, so that yielded a pretty. I didn't actually read much into it. I just looked at the cover. I
did read it, but I don't remember it. I mean, it
Okay.
didn't say finale.
Okay.
So,
Yes. Yeah. Which is
you know,
good.
which is always good. But it did sound like everything's coming to a head with the vampires. So,
Yeah. Right. And it's got Tigra Greer on the front
yeah.
cover, so that's pretty cool. And the Segovia cover, very consistent. I liked how Moon Knight had his cestus. He's got the spike knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it should. I guess it looks like it's wrapping up everything there, but yeah, good to know it doesn't say, the stunning conclusion or the finale to the series. So that's good.
So we'll see.
The other one, I'll just jump to. There's a preview of Crypt of Shadows. Rebecca, you and I just chatted about quickly before we went on air.
The preview doesn't show any Moon Knight, so we don't strictly have to talk about it, but we know it's going to be a biggie, and kind of sad away for that one. So
yeah, and for the completionists, because look, this episode is very much a completionist kind of episode. It's got Moony on the cover, so you might want to think of picking that one up if you want. The link will be in the show notes, and you can see the preview if you wish. And finally, as well, Diamond Select have a 10-inch Moon Knight statue that they're going to release. I think it's next year. Rebecca, thoughts on this? Does this look good? It's very much based on the TV show.
It's pretty cool. It's him crouching down, and it looks really nice.
I saw one of the
not much
Moonies.
of a statue person cost-wise, but it is pretty.
Well, this one's, affordable. 10-inch, I guess, is not as big as some of the other statues out there.
And it's not like it's a Hot Toys one.
Which range from like $450 to $500 US. This one will set you back. I had a look at Entertainment Earth, and I think it's $59.95 US. So it's still pretty pricey, but it's
it's nice.
Yeah, a complete statue. It's funny because I asked you, Rebecca, because one of the loonies did say, it's a shame about the pose. I mean, I didn't have anything against the pose.
I quite like the pose. I mean, it's unusual for Moon Knight. It's kind of like him watching and waiting. It's more of the sort of, I'm not even going to say the B word, but it's, I mean, that old Daredevil even, it's kind of, one of the characters. And look, I think Moon Knight is one of the characters that would crouch down and watch things happening before he automatically jumps in. I mean, he jumps in a fair amount of time, but,
Yeah, no,
I don't mind. I don't hate it. It's very unusual, though. It's not a fighting pose, and it's not just standing pose. So I kind of like that it's a bit different.
Yeah, I mean, as Rebecca described as well, it is pretty much just Moon Knight kind of crouched. You'd imagine like hunched over like the edge of a rooftop or something. He's just kind of casually crouched. I look at it, Rebecca, and I just see, sore knees. I just say,
that's
how's he going to get up? It's going to be hard to get back up there. Yeah. I'm assuming this is from.
He's more
Russell.
Athletic than us.
Yeah. Oh, I know, way more, way more. I think so. Just a comment. Yeah, another comment from Russell. I'm not a DC guy. Yeah, look, not by design, just by circumstance. But I highly recommend this Sword of Azrael mini going on right now. Has a Moony feel.
Dan Waters one. Okay. It's supposed to be amazing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask if you were collecting it by any chance, Rebecca,
I'm not a DC person.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, with this many Moon Knight things, we are costed out of anything else.
Oh, no, absolutely. So it's taking monopoly on our money, on our wallet. So, yeah. But it's good. It's a good problem.
And to be fair, I also have Iron Man and Captain America.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And Namor coming up.
I just saw that actually in this because I decided to look at the solicits for once, and is that Cantwell? As well. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And kind of old man.
Yeah, I can't wait to because we did see him. I did see Old Man Namor. He features in the recent Peter David Maestro trilogy.
Oh, right. I mean, I don't know how much Old Man Namor it is, but it's older Namor.
Yeah.
Searching for Jim Hammond.
Very cool.
Through Latveria, which, I mean, there's so many cool sounding things there, so we'll see.
Yeah, and look, there's enough time to save up for it. I mean, just briefly as well, Rebecca, I saw there's like of course, because of the TV show, there's a Secret Invasion series coming out, which looks...
totally getting that. It's Ryan North.
It's
Ryan North. It's a must buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I saw there's a dark web. I think
Dark
that's
Web of yeah, I don't fully understand what's going on with that event, but it looks kind of cool if you like clones and
yep.
Spider-Man and Madeline Breyer.
It's a weird pairing, but
It is a weird pairing, but they are clones, so
they are
there's a
clones, yeah.
you know.
And I saw the list.
I'm a big
It's
Peter truther there. Did you?
what?
I
Oh
was
yes, yes,
accusing
yeah.
Peter of being the clone, but no, yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's clones, but it is Ben
Yep.
coming back. So.
It's banned, yeah, and he goes up against Peter. It seems from the solicits, no spoilers there. I'm sure that's pretty obvious, but it ranges from dark web like issue crossovers from the X-Men to Miss Marvel, and I think Venom as well, and Gold Goblin.
Golden Goblin, that's
Golden
also
Goblin.
Cantwell, I think.
Yeah, so it looks interesting. It looks good, but I don't know if I'll be able to get all the like the crossover tie-ins. I
No,
might
I'm,
just
I'm.
yeah.
It's one of the times when I'm like, oh, I'm quite happy to not be a big Spider-Man reader. I love Spider-Man, but the number of comics has always been overwhelming to me.
Yeah,
So I've
true.
just kind of steered clear.
Well, and not only that, you've got the it's Dan Slott and Mark Bagley adjectiveless
Yeah, they're
Spider-Man coming out as
also
well.
coming back
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
See, I was exactly like you, Rebecca, but I made a pact with myself to just stick to Amazing Spider-Man, just the one title.
Okay. Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is pretty good. I mean, it still comes out bi-weekly or whatever, so you're still forking out a bit more, but trying to limit it. And so this Dark Web, maybe, yeah, I'll definitely not be getting the crossover. And if it's a really good crossover event, then may get the trade or whatever, or the collection.
Yeah,
But,
I'm finding that a lot easier to.
Yeah. yeah, but we'll give that we'll see how it kind of rolls. But yeah, I mean, apart from those solicits and that Moon Knight statue, of course, we did talk about the soda pop. We talked about that one last time, didn't we? The Moon Knight in the
Yes,
soda
yes.
can, yeah. So that's out as well. Oh, Rebecca, I can't see too closely.
I've got my necklace on.
Yes.
Little
Ah, there we go.
Got the little scarab. I didn't put the earrings on because of the headphones, but
yeah, I've got. That'll be just stuck in there.
I almost did, and then I was like, that would probably be quite painful. And yeah, so
Yeah.
there's a little scarab necklace finally arrived.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
there's also the little crescent moon one. But I got the earrings, and then I bought the necklace for a friend because she wanted to have matching jewelry. So
How long was the wait? Because you mentioned it took.
it was due out the month of the show.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and they kept putting it back by a month, and then by a month, and each time because I had it on debit card, I had to keep making sure I had enough money in the bank for this this stuff to come out. I was like, when's it? And then all of a sudden, one morning, I looked at my bank. It was like this £30 had come out. I was like, the Moon Knight jewelry's on its way. So,
that's always like a nervous thing, isn't it? When you do
yeah,
pre-orders, and it's like
most things stay fixed, but sometimes it just goes completely off the rails, and this one did. So.
And then sometimes.
What about you? You got a lot of your toys came in.
Oh yeah, the Hasbro Legends figures came in, so very happy with that. And upon closer inspection, yeah, the Moon Knight one, it looks absolutely awesome. I can't unsee Mr. Knight's crotch, Rebecca, and
I'm sorry,
but it's still pretty cool, So
yeah.
So no, happy that came in and got that thing. It was a limited edition. There was a scarab as well. It's like a replica of that scarab.
Yes, the Zavi one. Yeah.
Yeah, and the crescent moon.
You
Unfortunately,
see, my Hasbro Marvel Legends still says it's not due till April.
Yeah, maybe Australia.
So,
I don't know.
Thanks, UK.
Or someone, some fell off the back of the truck and some convict Aussie got it and has been selling it. But yeah, no, I mean, because that's what I heard as well for, I think, some US listeners as well. It's like, oh, is that out already? It's like, well, I don't know. Apparently. So, so very happy with those. I'm up to kind of date with all the stuff that I want to get. I mean, there's always plenty of stuff to get, but
I'd still have liked the giant Khonshu, but it didn't come to the UK, so.
Yeah, and there's also coming up the Khonshu, the builder figure. For
well, I'm never going to be able to afford that. So,
yeah, unless
it's
you
gorgeous,
find it.
But
it does look good. Yeah, so we'll have to. You just have to direct. I mean, Loonies, direct your funds where you want them most, I guess. So anyway, I mean, Rebecca, I think we can. I mean, do you want to head into a moonshine now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yes, as we mentioned previously, this is going to be a moonshine. It's all about new comics, but these are comics that Moon Knight has popped his head in and has made an appearance to some extent. So what we'll be looking at for this instance, we'll look at Miss Marvel and Moon Knight, Volume 1, Issue 1. It's like a one-shot anyway. She kind of teams up with others, right? They're all number
Yeah, I
ones.
think we should also mention the Ms. Marvel and Venom, because he's in that as well.
Oh, he's in that as well. Okay.
Yeah. But I read that this morning. It's
Okay.
not a massive appearance, but he's in that. So
Okay, well that's one. Probably that's the latest one I think out of this list that we have. So that's just come out hot off the press last Wednesday. So yes, Miss Marvel and Moon Knight, Miss Marvel and Venom, as Rebecca has mentioned. We'll be looking at She-Hulk issue 4. And we'll be looking at both Strange. This is by Jed McKay. Strange issues 4 and 5. He's appeared in that. Benjamin Percy and Corey Smith's Ghost Rider issue 5. Sorry.
yeah,
I think I was meant to say issue 4 and 5 for Strange. And Damage Control issue 1. That's a volume 4. That's surprisingly.
I think you've got the wrong team.
Oh, I did. I was about to say Benjamin Percy doesn't seem to be like a humour writer.
That. Yeah.
And while Rebecca cleans up my mess, Ziggy Pig and Silly Seal Infinity Comic 3. That was by Frank Thierry and John D. Sorelli. Moon Knight has an appearance there. I'm unaware kind of that, so I'll lean on Rebecca there. But what we'll hope to do, Rebecca and I, is go through. We'll start from the most meager offering, I think.
Let me just do control is Adam Goldberg and Hans Rodionov and Will Robson artist.
Oh, Will Robson, of course. I want to give a shout out to.
I think that's the story that's the story.
Yeah. I'll give a shout out to Will Robson. He does a great podcast with his brother Alex. And they're on the Spider-Man the Animated Series podcast, the 90s cartoon, Rebecca.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very funny. They're both very funny, and they're brothers, so they just kind of jab each other.
Amazing.
It's really cool. But they're they're soon to release a new podcast, and I'll mention it only once, Batman the Animated Series podcast, so that would be pretty cool.
Oh, competing with mine? No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean...
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Mine, hello, we're only doing films.
Sweating here. But a big shout out. That's great. He's a great artist as well.
I mean, there's another team on the same issue, but the story that Moon Knight's in is these guys.
Well, I mean, there are many really incidental appearances from Moon Knight. Rebecca, let's start with Damage Control. Might as well.
Yeah.
I haven't really read it, but I'm going to throw it up on the screen here. Share it. Sorry, I should say that. Share it on the screen. And so we all got excited because of the front cover. It's got Moon Knight there. Apparently, he only turns up in a joke in the bar.
Yeah, he. So this guy's in a restaurant being recruited to Damage Control, I guess.
Here we go.
And he. Yeah, it's just him ordering coffee, and it's very complicated coffee, and they make it to Moob Night.
So what?
Moob Night, and he's like, and then he's like, I asked for this milk or whatever milk, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Maybe it's Moob. Okay. Right, so there he goes. Look, well drawn, I'm going to say, by Will Robson. I do like Will's art.
It's fine. It's fine.
Very cartoonish, it's almost got a little bit of McFarlane in there, I think. But yeah, Moon Knight in his it looks like in not the uniform that he is now.
No, not in his current gear.
It's almost like the Vengeance of the Moon Knight. Oh, kind of. Anyway,
it does look a bit like that because it's got a bigger hood than even the Shalvey one, I think.
Yeah, and all white and more kind of urban looking. But yeah, so Moon Knight appears here. I don't know what really else to say about this, Rebecca.
No, it'd be hard to drink coffee with that face mask. my only takeaway there.
Yeah.
But look, if we're talking continuity, we know Mark's a coffee drinker. Recent soldier have both been off buying coffee for him, so
that's true.
at least they didn't have him drinking hot chocolate or chamomile tea or Iron Fist's favorite lemon tea with sugar.
We're starting to learn a lot more about Moon Knight's tastes.
I'm trying.
So funny.
I was pulling out a bit about themes. I was trying to be good about picking up things like that. So it's in my mind.
very,
very
good.
That's my positive on this. It's it's a fleeting appearance.
A very fleeting appearance,
and
again,
not really worthy of being on the front cover.
No, not at all. Well,
No.
Let me just
A little bit bait and switch cover, but the cover artist may not have known that when they did the cover.
Did Nightcrawler show up? And
I didn't read the whole issue. I just read.
Yeah,
I just read the bit I needed to read.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'd have done. And if there wasn't any more Moon Knight, I'm just flicking through it now. So you may see this on the live stream. I'm sorry. Yeah, there he is. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Nightcrawler, tick.
He also gets a page.
There you go, tick. Yeah, and Quicksilver, there, tick. He's got one as well. Okay, well, yeah, it's very misleading, but
it's misleading cover.
So that was one of them for your completionists out there. Again, go source it if you need to. But yeah, this is basically Rebecca and I. We're not going to go through the stories or anything. We'll just go through the gist and literally we'll zero in on the Moon Knight involvement.
Yeah.
The next one, Rebecca, do you want to? Which one do you?
Yeah,
reckon we
I'll
should
do this. I'll do Ziggy Pig and Silly Seal.
Okay, yep.
Comic, because this one's Marvel Unlimited only. Ray doesn't have the picture. It's on the Facebook page. The only panel that Moon Knight's on. He doesn't say anything. Well, if he says anything, it's just an expression of shock. So it's issue 3 by Frank Thierry and John D. Sorelli, and art by Jacob Chabot and letterer Travis Lanham. And it is so Ziggy Pig and Silly Seal have decided they want to ruin the reputation of Spider-Ham. And so Ziggy Pig dresses as Spider-Ham and goes to do all these terrible things, including mooning Moon Knight, which is the Moon Knight one. And the others are icing Iceman, ironing Iron Fist, and ghosting Ghost Rider. So if you're like a completionist on any of those, he's also there. So and then I think somebody else is saying butts. So Silly Seal saying butts are nice or butts are good or something as he's mooning Moon Knight. So that's like the most fleeting of appearances.
That
But
sounds good.
it fits in with the joke of the comic. It's a nothing thing.
Makes me want to track that down. Is that? Yeah, I mean,
it's a fun read.
Yeah,
it's a fun read, and
and
the art's decent, and it's all, and it just makes you remember like you can do silly things with superhero names sometimes.
Yes,
it's not dissing him in any way. It's not misrepresenting him in any way. It's just I thought it was quite funny that they had ironing Iron Fist and not Iron Man, but I appreciate that.
True.
So because when I was typing out, I don't know about icing Iceman's rubbish and ghosting Ghost Rider. Like I'm not sure how you draw that, but
exactly.
it's fun.
You don't want to be fisting anyway. Iron Fist. So.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I'm glad that we didn't get that. I'm glad that they chose the ironing.
And if it was knighting, it would have to be Black Knight or Moon Knight. So.
Yes, true, absolutely. Yeah, cool. It makes me, and again, like the first two that we've chosen, funnily enough, are like humor comics, and there is a place for them. I like them as well. I like.
I like them in their
stupidity.
Place, but
the
damage control one, I think I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to be a new take on damage control that would have superheroes be part of the damage control team because of the cover, and I think it was just disappointing. So I didn't really go back and pay a lot of attention after that.
And look, I'm not against.
It could be great. Like I mean, it could be great. It just wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I collected briefly Damage Control back in the 90s, so it's been ages. This one, and again, I've got nothing against dialogue-heavy issues, but just flicking through that Damage Control there, it looked pretty, like, full of dialogue, and, for a humour book, it's for me, it's got to sell itself pretty quickly, and I do like, funny books, but, interesting. And so, just as a caveat for those first two issues that we've just mentioned, they're just fun books. So don't take it too seriously. And it makes me want to read that Ziggy Pig and Silly Seal, Rebecca.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. The next easy pick, low hanging fruit, Rebecca, for me would be. Let me check this up. Is the Ghost Rider one?
Oh yeah.
Because for the life of me, and again, I mentioned this to you, Rebecca, before we started, I've been kind of like a fan of this series. It's not been terrible. It's not been stellar or anything like that, but it's been, for me, for the most part, solid. But I was utterly kind of confused at this and disappointed.
So I've not been reading this. So this was my summary of it. They're doing this Hell's Backbone rally where they're all racing, and whoever wins can hold council with the devil, or is it a recruitment gathering? And that was my entire thing. And then some of the people who are there, along with Moon Knight, who has a motorbike apparently, along with. So who's the most? So I put the most ridiculous ones: Rhino on a motorbike, ridiculous.
Yes.
Man Thing on a motorbike, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Doctor Doom on a motorbike, a little bit ridiculous.
Yes.
Maybe Dracula on a motorbike. That's pretty cool. And then Moon Knight starts at the back.
This is what kind of made me question. Yeah, I know we're talking about comic book characters. It's not the real thing, but what made me question, are these the real deal? Like, what are the logistics of getting Doctor Doom,
and why would most of them
Rhino
want counsel with the devil?
Yeah.
I mean, I like that they described Moon Knight as somebody who isn't afraid to fight gods or demons. So
that was a good...
It was a nice little sort of why he's there. But it doesn't explain why he'd want to be there. Oh, look, Craven's there. Yeah,
Craven, Bullseye. I mean, it just seems a little too unbelievable.
It seems very random. But I would like to see the moon bike back again. Please,
yeah, the moon bike looks great. Is there a bigger... Let me see if there's a bigger shot of it. I can't...
You had it in the first page. Oh, yeah,
okay. And there's up there, you get the full... Yeah, the moon bike looks great.
It makes the cape look good. And it's very good for getting around New York streets, I imagine. So I'm fully on board for the moon bike.
I mean, touches
but not Man Thing on a bike.
I know. I mean, the Man Thing, like, again, logistically, Man Thing would have no idea
Rhino
what's going
on a bike. I mean, it would just be hilarious.
Yeah, it just seems like, I think, a stretch too far on it. Unless, of course, this was all like just a weird thing, because like no one ever mentions this, you know. Anyway, it's getting too much into detail, but it was too. The disbelief. I couldn't suspend my disbelief for this. At
least, and he got a mention. So.
And but it was absolutely token.
Story.
Yeah, he had more dialogue in Damage Control, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I just thought the ridiculousness of, and I love this shot here. There's Doctor Doom blasting someone to get them to run off course, but just the ridiculousness.
It's a real wacky races, yeah.
Yeah, but it's so weird because this book, the strength of it is its horror element. It's very horror based. There's a lot of body horror. There's a lot of gore. So to have this, it just kind of took me out a little bit. But anyway, that aside from the comic book, Moon Knight is very fleeting in this. Again, slightly disappointed because we were really looking forward to it. We saw him in the front cover on the solicits, and it's like, oh, great. And Hawkeye and Black Widow, I wonder how this will all gel in. But they don't interact at all. No. They're just like one of hundreds of characters
people
that
racing,
go through this race. So, once again, for completionists, it's there for you. But
it's up to you to decide if that's what you want.
Exactly. Rebecca, what would you go for next? I can share anything.
She-Hulk.
Actually, I enjoyed this one.
I enjoyed the issue, but I mean, he's also not in it much.
Yes. This one maybe because similar to, unlike the Ghost Rider one, I was not expecting it. He's not on the front cover or anything like that.
Yeah,
and
there's no build up to it.
There's no build up.
They're doing this big fight, and then she's looking for more clients, and Thing has rounded up some of his mates.
I mean, how cool is this? It's
kind of cool because, like, we do know that Thing sends him Hanukkah cards, so he would obviously invite Moon Knight. So I like that.
Yeah.
You've got Jess there.
You got Jess. You got Sam Wilson.
Sam Alexander.
Karnak?
Karnak. I mean, like, we haven't seen an Inhuman in comics for so long. Admittedly, Karnak's not the same kind of Inhuman as the other Inhumans.
No.
If you know, you know. If you know your Inhumans, you know why. He's not actually an Inhuman, but he's an Inhuman.
That's just confusing people.
Yeah, he's not an Inhuman, but he is an Inhuman. Yeah. Nightcrawler, Reed Richards.
Yeah, I thought Reed was really pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, just going back to that.
The ancient one.
The ancient one. I was just thinking just from our initial comments, just the fact that, there was no expectations to break here. Yeah. It was just complete surprise. And it was more than just a token. I mean, it is still token.
He gets to say stuff.
Yeah. He goes on for a good 2-3 pages. He's there for 3 pages. So, and you get almost the full shot of him. As you said, he's got the dialogue. He actually interacts with Jen.
Yeah.
So this was quite satisfying for me. Although, it's not going to...
It was a nice cameo because you're right, we had no expectations. It was just there.
Yeah. And there are no ramifications, though. There's not like it's going to change the course of Jed's run or anything by this. So it was pretty self-contained, and I enjoyed it. And as you said, Rebecca, it did have Jess in it, so got those two together. So it was awesome. So so that's She-Hulk, and highly recommend this series. Oh, I love it. I don't know if you've been reading it on and off.
I haven't, no.
Okay, but it is
a pretty fun issue.
Yeah, it's exactly that tone. It's really cool. And I know it's been brought in because of the TV show, but it keeps that kind of same kind of light humor that Charles Soule, Dan Slott, John Byrne had previously. So, very happy with that. Let's go to... this other one is quite small as well. We'll go to one of the Strange issues.
Yes.
We're counting
down. Let's do Jed's next.
Yes.
The Jed ones. So obviously we will expect these to be very strongly in continuity.
Well, again, Jed. So is that a good or a bad thing? Because Jed's tied to it, so we are expecting a bit.
I would say that I think he lived up to that. Like, I think that the continuity is there. So.
Yes. But were you? I mean, just before we go into just the 4 and 5, but were you happy with the amount of Moon Knight you got in 4 and 5, or I mean, we know 5, it's not a Moon Knight
in 5. 4 we knew was going to be Shadow Knight.
Yep.
And it was a bit of an odd appearance, but kind of made sense. It was like kind of zombie Shadow Knight, and it wasn't really him. And
yes, he was kind of resurrected. Like he was kind of not resurrected. He was just kind of brought in. Like he was.
They were like
reanimated.
Using his body.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the design. I like seeing him. It was fun. It was a nice, not really a bait and switch, but kind of more fun bait and switch, because then it leads on to a big Moon Knight issue in 5. So, and I don't think most of us don't read it for Shadow Knight. So
true. I mean, I guess that is it as well. I read it pretty late, like once it arrived, and then I saw a lot of discussion in the group just about and in Discord as well, saying it's really nothing. But it is Shadow Knight. I enjoyed the art, and actually I hadn't been reading Strange. I know
it's really good, isn't it?
It is good. This was the first issue that I read, and I love like the fact that Claire's mum Uma, is back.
Yeah.
She's very. I love that relationship.
I love her.
Between the two.
But also, I mean, I guess if Jed can't use Shadow Knight in the current Moon Knight run, and there's no real reason to. It's kind of a nice, fun way, given that he's probably been absorbed in reading old Moon Knight stuff for a while, to like sort of nod to another area that he can't really use properly in Moon Knight. So it's quite fun, and you get, it's a nice design. He's in it quite a lot. It's just that it's not him, and he doesn't really do much except
but by association. Exactly. The art-wise, I love this panel here where he's just jumping in. So he's 1, 2, just count the pages, 3, and kind of 4 at the back of his head.
Yeah.
There we go. 5. He's quite a lot. 6,
he's
7.
He's pretty much the antagonist for the issue. So
that's actually quite.
Yeah.
One of the that is quite a sizable appearance actually.
Yeah, it's
and
decent. It's just not Moon Knight. It's just,
Yeah, true. And I don't mind that. I mean, like,
No, I was always going to be fascinated with how they brought Shadow Knight in, and this worked. So
yeah, exactly. And it was exactly on the tin. Like, we weren't tricked in thinking, oh, Moon Knight's meant to be in this. So we got what we were hoping to get. So that was good. But then we go to 5. Rebecca, let me just grab that one. There we go. Yeah, this was a lot more substantial. And yeah, there was
was like proper. This was the Moon Knight we know currently.
Yes, yeah. Great. What's this guy called again? This is the Sorcerer Supreme for Death. It's really
Harvestman.
Cool. Harvestman. Yeah, really cool.
Who we find out who that is at the end of.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is pretty cool.
Very cool.
And I actually think it's very clever because, like, if you bring in Moon Knight fans who've not read the rest of the series, this is quite a good hook.
This is a good, it is.
Yeah, for why you'd want to keep reading the series. So it's pretty smart. But like, so here's my points on thematic things. We're back in the Midnight Mission. We're getting the Mr. Knight sitting in the chair saying, "How can I help you?"
Yes.
We also get reference to the house and why it wouldn't have a good history with Doctor Strange.
Yes, so, I love that tie-in because
I mean, that's where you can tell it's the same writer.
Yes, yeah.
Because that's really cool, and of course 8-Ball, which again, I mean, it could only be Jed that would put 8-Ball in as the cameo villain that Moon Knight just has to pop over and scare.
That's right. I mean,
which is lovely.
Jed has, this, I guess, a relationship with 8-Ball that he's instilled on Moon. It's so funny because he's now the whipping boy. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. There's a shot of Moon Knight just to scare him, just to make sure that he's on his toes.
He remembers her, and he goes, "Look, I don't have magic like you. I just have to keep them scared."
Yeah. So yeah, really fun. I really enjoyed this appearance from Moon Knight,
and it makes sense. Clea's trying to find out about death and coming back from death.
Yes.
So she goes to see somebody that has died and been resurrected several times. Of course, Mark has really nothing to offer her because why would Khonshu help her?
Yes.
So, but he does have an interesting sort of point. Is like, if someone's interested in resurrecting you, you have to ask why.
Yes.
Which is obviously from his history with Khonshu, and that plays out towards the end of the issue.
Yeah, don't get don't just fall into the trap and
like somebody might want a favor and stuff like that.
So. Exactly. But what did you think of the depiction of Moon Knight in this issue? He's very,
like I said, I think it's it's on point with the current run.
Oh no, I mean as in visually the art.
Oh, I mean, I liked it. It's
very different. I thought.
Sure, if it feels like the same outfit, but it doesn't not feel like the same outfit. Mr. Knight one does. Yeah, it's art we've not seen of him before. I liked it.
It's very much so. What I guess I'm alluding to, loony listeners who may see the video feed. Mr. Knight. He's got it's appeared every now and again throughout the decades when artists depict the mask. You very much get the face underneath it. Some people like it, some people don't. I kind of like it. It makes him look very different from other iterations. And so for this artist, and I'm just going to quickly have a look, Marcelo Ferreira, you get both the black hooded shadowed face in the cowl, but you get the pure white and the lines and the texture on the face behind the mask, which is really cool as well. It gave me some vibes of Vengeance of the Moon Knight because he's got those army boots, it looks like, almost when he
with
kicks
them as well.
But really cool, really fun difference. And I like this appearance of Moon Knight here again. It doesn't really cause ripples in the overall storytelling.
We've also got the reference to him owing Wong a favor, which we know he does. So it works really well.
It works absolutely well. So we got a few more fights here. So he's very substantial here. I'm thinking over 10 pages, right?
This is a proper team up. This is a proper team up.
Yeah.
And then we
and
get
spoiler!
Oops,
Well,
spoiler! Wait, spoiler.
So anyway, for those who've seen the video, may have seen it. Otherwise,
Go read it. It's fun.
Go read it. It's very good.
Definitely, if you're a completionist, you want this one.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is not a minimal.
Yeah, I'm glad I picked this one up with Strange 4 as well. Oh, Rebecca, we have someone else here.
It's Noel.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, Noel, how you going? Good morning. So anyway, we're talking about Moon Knight recent appearances. So we've done quite a bit here. I think we've gone through. Yes, we have gone through all the ones we can go to, like the. Well, I mean, again, just to reiterate.
We have the biggie.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, before we get into the biggie, Rebecca, just to reiterate again, you mentioned Moon Knight was in Miss Marvel and Venom, right?
Yes.
So what was
so
was his involvement?
So Miss Marvel does her stuff with Venom, and then in the sort of back end of it, she gets all the people she's teamed up with. So you've got Wolverine, and Moon Knight, and Venom, and they go to deal with it. And it's not a massive, but it's probably about a third of the comic at the back.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's not. I don't think he makes he clearly proves, as Moon Knight Core pointed out on Twitter this morning, that he has not seen Akira, because Miss Marvel talks about going Tetsuo on someone.
Oh, okay.
and he goes, what?
That's cool.
So he's not an Akira fan. But yeah, I mean, he's not a massive part of the comic, but he's there. Okay. He's as big as part as, say, Wolverine is, who also comes back for that. So
okay, cool.
Again, I'd say probably worth buying if you're being completist about it, because that kind of gets the story together.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think I will go back and pick it up. I do have the Wolverine one. I really enjoyed the Wolverine one. And Miss Marvel, and of course I enjoyed the Moon Knight one. So
the Venom bit's actually quite sweet.
Okay.
And it ends up with some very sweet stuff between Miss Marvel and Venom. So
okay. Well, yeah, I'll definitely go check that one out. But yeah, we'll definitely worth then checking out, as Rebecca said. So check out that one. And we have and just wanted to address Noel. So hopefully we can fill in these blanks.
And we'll find out any we've missed.
and hopefully this gives you a gauge of whether it's worth picking up or not. I would. I mean, totally up to you, but I would maybe leave Ghost Rider 5. Maybe
I would
damage.
Definitely leave Damage Control.
Damage Control number 1. The Ziggy Pig. I mean, it's an Infinity comic.
You can't buy it, so if you've got Marvel Unlimited, have a look. I'm gonna
download get it on the Marvel Unlimited and download it and keep it on my phone, Rebecca.
Well, that you can do, because it is just one panel. Fun. Or you could go see it on our Facebook page. It's
true.
But you can read the whole comic if you have Marvel Unlimited. You get the context.
Definitely will be doing that. So we got the big one left, which we did mention. It's the issue before, so kind of backtracking from what Rebecca said. And it is Miss Marvel and Moon Knight here. So we should read out some of the credits. So Jody Houser. I'm a big fan of Jody Houser. I thought she did really well.
Me too. Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure how she would tackle Moon Knight, but, shouldn't really have worried. It was pretty good. Ibraim Roberson.
Did a very good job, I think.
Yeah. Oh, very good art. I really enjoyed this art. Colorist Erick Arciniega. Letterer Travis Lanham, and editors Drew Baumgartner and Mark Basso. So this is obviously, this is more than a... Well, it is
I mean, look, he's named in the title, he's on the cover, it's clearly a team up. We know it's happening. This one has lots of continuity, which again, I think... So this one has lots of continuity, but wasn't written by Jed.
So, that's right, yeah.
So...
what did you have for notes here? Because you're probably a little bit fresher in your mind.
I have that. Again, we get the Mr. Knight. How can I help you? We get to see him talk to the woman in front of her, and then to talk to Kamala.
Can I just say as well? Sorry, Kamala. Yeah, I'd love this art. Is actually
it's lovely. Yeah, and this really does. This looks like the Capuccio costume, just drawn by someone different.
And even
And they've all
not
got-
even
they've all-
Kamala, but
And
Kamala looks
again, they've got
fantastic.
the Midnight Mission looking like
Yeah.
it's the strange house.
The two eyes,
The two
Rebecca. I
eyes.
thought that two
But you know,
eyes.
so we
Oh
get
my
him first
gosh,
talking to this little old
that's
lady
such a
about
cool.
drug dealing,
Yes.
and then Kamala goes in and talks to him about these little robot things, and we
Yeah.
launch into the. But then we get recent vampires, so like we're bang up to date there. He's like going, could they be
Yeah,
after vampires? And she's
I
like,
like
what do
how she-
vampires exist? Reese
Yeah.
giggles.
I like how she giggles. It surprised me that Kamala can believe that there are gods and aliens and all that all over, but she can't, can't believe that there are vampires running around.
She's probably just not had to deal with them.
Yeah,
yet,
true,
You know,
true.
so get
all of
Reese
this is-
being lovely.
Yeah, it just all looks
Uh,
gorgeous, and
yeah.
these hero shots just are fantastic.
Are great.
As
And
well.
then also Hunter's Moon. I mean, like,
Yes, that's right.
which
Hunter's
is great
Moon,
because then we have
of
the two
course.
Muslim characters, and
Yes.
so,
And again, him being very Hunter Moony.
Yeah, and it's really cool because Ms. Marvel has a clear role, and like also Mark does, and he's
Yeah.
not just the muscle, and she's not just the brains. Like they're both working quite well together.
Mhm.
She's a bit scared of him, which is I probably think pans out quite
Understandable.
well. Yeah.
It's such a strange team up. I think
It's
Jody
a
Houser
strange
does
team
it.
up, yeah.
She does it really well, and as you say, by using Hunter's Moon in it, it just just linking in with the contemporary stuff. But
I mean,
as
this
you
is
said,
this is more snotty than we've seen Hunter's Moon be since the early issues of Moon Knight, but it worked. I mean, like, there's no reason for him not to be.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
they sort out these
the little
mechanical rat
robot
things.
yeah.
and-
Which is funny because again, at the issue 1 of Moon Knight, he deals with all those vermins, right? So
yeah. It's like, oh, rats again, but this time robot
yeah.
rat. But he also deals with the drug dealer on the way. So like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
doing, he's fulfilling all his jobs to
He's doing
protect his neighborhood.
Yeah. But he's doing well. It gets it because similar to the backup from not the backup, but similar to the previous story with Wolverine, this kind of menace, which is almost like a en masse thing, it could be quite overwhelming. And as Miss Marvel said, she had to electrocute basically Wolverine in order to save the day. So Moon Knight's going, okay, well. Okay, we'll have to deal with it a different way. You can't do that. But yeah, again, just wanted to call out the art. It was really fantastic. And I think Jody Houser, I didn't expect it to work, that balance. Like between Moon Knight
it worked really well.
Miss Marvel. Yeah, because they're so disparate. But again, yeah, it just worked really well. So, have I passed? I must have passed by. Oh, there was this. Oh no, there was. Oh yeah, he's just talking to the tenants as well.
But he's really good. He's like making sure they're all okay. Like,
yeah,
it's
very
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, the look of Hunter's Moon. If anything,
because
that
he works
bling-
out that, like, because he's like, oh no, if they're going after the Fist of Khonshu, there's another fist.
Yes, that's right. And so they run towards him, but he's already under attack. But they manage. He looks really cool here because there's a shot.
He looks
when,
super cool here, yeah.
Yeah, when the three of them are together and he's at the front doing the hero pose, you only see that like the white moon on his forehead.
Yeah,
and he
it's really
kind of
cool.
looks inhuman. But yeah, he's looking good. So yeah, I mean, so the rats kind of storm the building.
Can I just say inhuman, but not inhuman again?
Yeah, yeah.
This time makes more sense. So
Yeah. It's a great hero shot here. That's going to have to be bought somewhere. And the rats combine like a transformer, a good Voltron.
So what do our Fists of Khonshu do? They summon up Kaiju Khonshu.
Yeah, that's such a cool thing. I mean, Jody Houser, I'm not sure if she read Black, White, and Blood with
I imagine this was
O'Dele.
written well before, but yeah.
Yeah, because I love the kaiju-ness. And of course the TV show has that, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a huge fight. I mean, as well, what I really loved about this was that there's a really good balance of action. Like it's almost
I was worried
non-stop.
Ms. Marvel might not get enough to do.
But she has plenty.
Yeah, definitely.
And also calling out the colorist as well, we get the glow of Moon Knight,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
which we've seen so much in the Cappuccio and the McKay run. So it's been great, and we see it here. Of course, the cape just flawlessly shapes into a crescent moon as he flies up or dives down. And yes, the kaiju Khonshu to save the day. Hunter's Moon, like he's worth his weight in gold. This guy, because he's actually pulled him out of the fire a few times by using what he has. Like he's the avatar of vengeance and an avatar of Khonshu, and he uses that resource very well. So Kamala kind of left with, with dead rats, and everyone goes by their own way. Nice little, again, so many nice hero shots of Moon Knight. He, as you mentioned, Rebecca, he does kind of look, he still kind of looks, it's because I guess Cappuccio draws the face of Moon Knight blackish. So,
it's not quite the same, but I think it's more the same than some of the other ones we've seen. There's more of the darkness, but he also has very, very well-defined abs in this.
He does, which
we're not used to seeing. So.
No. Or they're just all black. Like, you never see it. So this sets up, I mean, what Rebecca, I guess, leads into. I was interested in this peacock tattooed guy.
I won't say any more about him since you're gonna read the next one. But it's beautiful design.
Yeah. So really good, really fun story. A definite A plus if you want to complete your set and all that and get it. It's a high recommend.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I don't know. Do you know those Miss Marvels? Is that the last? Is Venom the last one? Or
I don't know actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it didn't feel fully like an end, but it felt like it could have been an end. So
right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It did feel kind of like an end. Because
a little bit. I was a bit distracted because I was kind of reading it quite quickly. Miss Marvel and Venom. Maybe that is the last one. I don't see any others, and they'd have them.
I mean, if it is, I'm definitely getting it anyway.
I think maybe Venom is the end.
And I'm gonna say not because of Moon Knight being in issue 3. I think just because I really want to finish out this arc, and it's just been a really enjoyable thing. So it's worth checking out.
Yeah, it'd be worth getting a little. It comes out in trade if you'd rather buy it in trade. The fact that he's in 2 of the 3 issues, then
yeah, and they're pretty they're longer issues. I think. I mean,
they feel longer.
Yeah, that went up to page 31, and that includes a cover and stuff. So that's pretty substantial. Excellent stuff. Well, I mean that I think wraps all at the moment the appearances of Moon Knight
that we can think of. If we've missed any, please let us know.
Oh yeah, please send it in, and if there is a bunch of them, again, I think Rebecca and I hopefully we'll just compile them. We'll wait, a couple of months or a few months, and we'll just hit them all in one, like we've done here. But Rebecca, that was pretty fun, just to kind of go through.
It was fun. It was nice to read them all and laugh about it. And it's crazy how much exposure he's had in the last 3 months. Compared to the 3 years before that.
And I think
the fact that we can even joke about him being in passing cameos, we didn't even have those. So
Yeah, and it's just exactly. And I think it's not the end of it as well. I think we got this from Noel. Where's Moon Knight and of course, I don't know.
Well, we're still. I mean, that's the one you have to campaign for, Noel.
Yeah, Marvel Team Up, or you get Marvel Team Up.
Silly Ziggy Pig and Silly Seal had Pet Avengers in the most recent issue, so I don't know if Howard was in it, but the Pet Avengers were, and the
Yeah. So I mean, again, we're not going to rate these because they're just
I looked at the rating and I was like, Ray, no.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, because they're what did 6 or 7 issues, right? So
and to be fair, most of them would probably give pretty low ratings too. Because what do you rate them on? We didn't really read them as issues. We went and looked for the Moon Knight. So
for Moon Knight. I mean, again, take nothing away from Damage Control or Ziggy Pig. If you're really into the humory stuff, then it's probably right there. I want to read that Damage Control. I don't think I'll get it. I'll probably wait for Marvel Unlimited just to see.
I think that probably makes sense. I don't think you can put up what Noel said on your screen. I don't know how.
Yeah, maybe we can, but for those that see the video, you can read it.
Yeah.
I won't
Well,
say
it's
it.
on our Facebook page, so you can read it there as well.
Oh yeah, you can.
I think it's a great tag, though, Noel.
Yeah.
Can't see Marvel using it, but you know.
Yeah. We'll keep that there, and we'll put a pin on it. Maybe we'll put it on a T-shirt.
Yeah, actually, that should be the crossover T-shirt for the podcasts.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps us, Loonies. There aren't any voicemails or quotation marks. Just because, this the nature
Because what
of
would
this
you
episode.
say?
Exactly. Yeah. You can hear other comments on particular issues just throughout our group, Facebook group. People have commented on them, and Discord as they've come about. Rebecca, anything you'd like to plug before we head off?
No, I think I'm good. I think probably I'll be on a podcast with you again before I have anything that needs plugging.
Okay, and it's not long now, Rebecca. Before still a few more weeks,
4 or 5 weeks before I go away. So,
yeah, so I'll have to just take advantage of while you're here. But yeah, I know.
Whoever wants to pretend to be me while I'm away, let Ray know.
Also, I'll give a plug. I showed up on Werewolf by Night, the podcast.
Nice.
They covered and I was on there to help talk about Spider-Woman issue 48, which features a Jack Russell appearance. And it's funny, Rebecca, talking about incidental appearances like Moon Knight. So Matt and Jacob are covering all the appearances of Jack Russell after issues. And this one, he literally, I think, 5 panels. So it was a really good discussion. We had a fun time just chatting about Spider-Woman in general and the issue. As far as Werewolf by Night and Jack Russell, a little less so. But go check it out. I'll put it in the show notes. It's their latest episode as of this recording, and it's on Spider-Woman Volume 1, Issue 48 as well. Also, as well, look how well Noel was there. A few weeks ago, I was on Trapped in the World as well. Nice. Had a great time with Noel. Leave feedback to those wacky two, Noel and Russell. They're doing a great job over there. I love that show. Next phase, episode 303. We're not doing a Moonshine, or we're not doing a Moon and Stars. We're going back to the classic run again.
Wow.
So we haven't done that in a while. I think it is issue 21. I'm not too sure. Just we'll need to double check that. I can't remember what was it. I think it was issue 20 that we did last. So keep your eyes. I know. I think that was back in episode 240 something, Rebecca. So there's 60 odd episodes done since we've done a classic run. So so go check that out. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. That will come out next week or so. As always, a huge thank you to the Patronies. Didn't mention that at the top of the show. You can be one too. Check out patreon.com/RTK Moon Knight, and a big thanks to the likes of Odin, Daniel, Drew, Frank, Justin, Derek, Wayne, Josh, Anthony, Russell, Michael, Mario, Matthew, and Jonathan. Thank you so much. A big thank you also to a big thank you to all our principal sponsors as well. Our top patronies, Odin Sword. You check out him on Drinking Marvel Podcast. Frank the Think Tank. He's on Instagram under Moon Knight Visions. Hang on one moment here. There we go. Yes, we got Fringe Night by Daniel Doing. Go support his. He's great. So he's been in a con. I think he's got a stall. Check it out. Patreon.com. Nice. Yeah, he's doing signings, and he's got his cosplay out there as well. Patreon.com/Fringe Night 27. Drew Toombs, awesome fella, awesome chap. Check out his music on SoundCloud.com/Toombs with a Z, or Lurk Music, and that's lurkmusick.bandcamp.com. Finally, as well, CLZ Comics. Update your database at collectors.com, and Dreamland Comics. Use the code MOON and get 20% off their online store.
Nice.
you can. We're also part of the collective. Again, Rebecca is part of the DCAU, DC Animated Universe podcast, and you can also find Rebecca on Sons of the Dragon, an Immortal Iron Fist podcast. I want to give a shout out too to Ghost Spider Groupies. I just saw they've released an episode with Tim Seeley, so
very nice,
fantastic. Can't wait to listen to that and go check them out for sure. And finally, you can email us, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, Get Vocal, all that sort of stuff, and we've got the website there, all the details. As you can see, if you're listening to this, just the audio, then please check our show notes as well. Rebecca, that does it for this journey.
Yeah, it was a good old ramp through a few comics, quite a lot for us. Yeah,
I loved it. Catch you next time, Rebecca.
Yeah.
And as always, everybody, may Khonshu watch over the denizens of the night. Catch you later.
Yeah.
Moon Knight and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Materials used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information, or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
I think I shall call him Adam.
But return to me again empty-handed, and I will bathe the Starways in your blood.
Thanks, Dad. Sounds fair.
Korvac's power grows, as does his madness. He would have destroyed us all, had I not pulled us into the Soul Gem.
Then Thanos, I'm coming for you.
After Xandar, you were going to kill my father?
You dare to oppose me?
You see what he has turned me into. You kill him, I will help you destroy 1,000 planets.
It's all right, Adam. We're here to help. Just stay cool. I don't want to be here! Resurrections, an Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast. 5 years and going strong. Every other week. Mostly. For all of your Adam Warlock, Thanos, or Marvel Cosmic needs. Find it on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, and wherever else podcasts are available. ResurrectionsAdamWarlock.tumblr.com.
Adam Warlock. You cannot keep leaving your philosophy books open on the floor. I always trip on them in the middle of the night on my way to the can.